Eothas' great hand floats away from the luminous Audra pillar. As it pulls back, for a brief moment you see a golden tether flash into existence between the pillar and the great titan's back. When the Audra fingers gently cradle you, there is first a sensation of warmth, but it is followed by a harsh splitting of consciousness. Your awareness vacillates erratically between the physical world and the spiritual dimension of Eothas' body.
Whoa.
Your soul glides amid the many trapped with Eothas. As your brilliant form passes by them, they call and reach out for help. Below Eothas' body, the volcano erupts. Molten rock rushes over the great Audra body, but does not slow its movement. Rathun rush to higher ground, but cannot outpace the lava, which overwhelms and consumes them as it rises. Your attention returns to the heart of Eothas' body. Deep within the whirling masses of souls, you again sense your own presence, the fragment that was taken from you. This time, you reach out to it as it reaches out to you. You meet somewhere in the great mass of Audra, the rest of the souls fading at the edge of your awareness. We are together again. Are you ready to be together again?
Why wouldn't I be?
Since we've parted, you've become someone else. I have become myself. When we join, we won't be ourselves anymore. Your senses yank back to your body, still in Eothas' hand.
What a cool picture.
There is light, sunlight. He has emerged from Ashen Maw, the rim of the volcano and the great keep of the Rathun collapsing behind him. The Audra is barely visible through the thick lava covering his body, and still, he moves. The ocean is gone, water sucked away, leaving only the bare seabed glistening in an ominous silence. You summon the strength to turn your head. Through the cracks in the great god's fingers, you see a wall of water, taller than Nekataka, taller than Eothas, as tall as the moon. It comes with the rumbling of a terrible stampede. The wave slams into Eothas. His hand closes, protecting you from the devastation. Somewhere in your mind, you hear Andra screaming. You are back inside him, back with yourself. Are you still the same Watcher who returned the lost souls of the Deerwood to their intended bodies? A light shines within the soul as it observes you, waiting. I am.
Oh, so if we played a different type of character from the import and we played it differently, we might not have some of these options. I am, and I will do everything I can to save those poor souls before I'm done.
Good. Then this should be easy. You feel cool air, seawater. The back of your mind pulls your attention back to your body. Eothas stands amid the now calm waves. Kraken futilely clinging to his limbs as he gingerly sets down your ship with one hand. He carefully opens his other, setting your body on the deck. As your head comes to rest, your vision rocks forward, pulled back into the Audra, back to your soul. Some of us is lost to him. Fragments and the empty spaces between them. They will always be a part of him. But we are still us. And it's time for us to go. Together.
No, you stay.
The soul rushes toward you, flying into you with ferocious speed. You are thrust back through the Audra, out of the palm of Eothas' hand, back into your body.
Football tackle style.
You can feel the sensation of your skin, the warmth of the Audra, but you are not fully in control. The other soul struggles to reach the surface of the body's consciousness, but you pull it down. Entangled, you float in a dark, boundless expanse. The more you fight each other, the closer you become, until somehow, impossibly, every piece of you is touching every piece of them. Through the distant window of your eyes, you see Eothas push slowly against your ship. Though his touch is light, it is still the touch of a god. The ship lurches, rapidly tearing across the water southward. His hand pulls away from your ship's wake, his body straightening, towering overhead. The volcanic rock, now cooled and gently steaming, sloughs from his body as he moves. The Audra beneath is still immaculate, unmarred. He watches you depart, and you hear a voice in your mind as you sink deeper into the blackness of sleep.
Tell them what you have witnessed, Watcher. Tell them what is coming.
The windows of your eyes retreat into the distance. The fragment of your soul is so close to you in the darkness that you can't tell if its thoughts are separate from your own. Eothas is going to Ukaizo?
Eothas is going to Ukaizo.
He's going to stop the wheel?
He's going to stop the wheel.
Eothas is going to Ukaizo. Eothas is going to Ukaizo. He's going to stop the wheel. The words repeat in your mind until they become an incessant, meaningless mantra. Involuntary meditation in the emptiness of your unconscious. When the words finally dissolve and become part of the darkness, you see a pinpoint of light. You no longer sense the other soul. No longer sense the person you were before Eothas touched you. You swim toward the light. As you come closer, the light becomes two blurry spots of radiance. You settle in behind your eyes and feel your lips already moving, mumbling. Around your body, you sense familiar scents and sounds, voices raised in shock and alarm. You take control of your mouth, opening it wide and drawing a great breath.
Woo! Man, I tell you. You know, the main story of this game, from a perspective of the contents, is not the best. But the way they tell it is like 11 of 10. Like it is the actual act of telling the story is incredible. The writing is phenomenal. My lord, man. I hope Avowed can marry the amazing telling of the story with the amazing story of like PoE 1. Oh man, I tell you. A pounding headache drags you most of the way back to your senses. Your vision blurs and an acrid taste fills your parched mouth. The details of the room slowly come into focus. The sounds of an ongoing debate, a distant echo.
Are we simply going to wait? What if he never wakes up?
I'm awake. I'm awake.
Are those frilled collars stuffed in your ears? If the Watcher's mumblings are right, then Eothas is marching on Ukaizo. We have to move. He's seizing power from the very gods who betrayed him, destroying the wheel to make sure they never come back. It's a coup, and we have to muster the strength to stop it.
The unraveling of Cohhpa from Tangaloa is our greatest test from the gods, I say. We must live to deserve the world they make for us.
The assembled leaders turn their attention away from each other in a prolonged and thoughtful silence. As you feel fully present and steady in your feet, the attention of the room abruptly shifts to you, filling the void with expectant whispers. I'm fine. Not that anyone asked.
You bear witness to the work of the gods. It seems they are not finished with you yet.
You know, every time you come back from the dead, it's a little less exciting. You gotta space it out more.
Join our talks, I say. Rational discussion will gust away the ominous smoke rising from Ashen Maw. The Deadfire is no stranger to cataclysm. We can survive by cleaving to a shared purpose, a greater good, Akira. For what else did the gods place us here? We who have ships and resources enough to make a difference.
Hastel glances around the room at the gathered parties, his brows climbing.
What we need is brass. Roatai has ships and cannons aplenty, but the only way I'm sending them is if...
She breaks off at the boom of a door slamming open. Commotion echoes from the entrance hall. As everyone turns towards the noise, her hand strays to her gun. The sound of approaching footsteps grows in volume as a courier scrambles into the throne room, panting and glistening with sweat. His mouth opens and closes like a fish, gasping desperately for breath.
Ships have formed the blockade around Queen's Birth. Their commander demands parley with Serpent's Crown.
What? But what about our ships? I must get a message through to the captains.
For what do our enemies paint a target on their hull? This is a stirring bid for my attention. Send word to my water shapers to drain the sea around the flagship. I would parley on better terms than this.
My queen! They fly the colors of pirates! The Principe are...
Well, what have we here?
A confident voice booms from the open door. Oh my god. The motley sailors who don't hold the Juana guards at bay with drawn weapons take in some of the more opulent decorations with avid interest. One pirate separates out from the fold, sauntering boldly forward.
Forgive me, lovesome, but it looks like you're having a party. A rather fine one to which you didn't invite me.
You painted vagrants are a plague on my tribes. Why should I not hang you from the walls of my garden?
You should be asking yourself how they got in here in the first place.
Agreed.
Oh, I do love when they squabble. But I'm here for neither pleasantries nor entertainment. We've bigger fish to fry. Or should I say gods? Now everyone just calm down. I promise we won't fire on you at this time. Unless firstly provoked. That is, until once we've safely absconded from the city back to the high seas. Then all bets are off again. Aye?
Yes, well, if you have a point, pirate, I suggest you reach it quickly.
We're supposed to take a bunch of pirates at their word?
Right you are. However, I'm here because I've got questions, ones that can't wait. And the lovesome watcher's the only one likely to answer them nicely.
All of us must plan for the inevitable. Even if we cooperate, Eothas wins.
Do you think so little of our chances? The Juana are built to outlast, I say. Deadfire's last cataclysm stripped the tribes of Ukaizo.
Hey, Paul.
This one will bring it back to us. All of this is meant to be.
Ukaizo? What's the lost city of gold got to do with a god on a rampage?
Eothas is going there to break the reincarnation cycle.
Well, fuck if that doesn't put things into perspective. But what's that even mean in the long run? Folks who die won't be coming back again.
Possible. I don't know. This isn't exactly common.
This is all dark and foreboding sounding. But what's it mean for my soul? I mean, I like the idea of pirating throughout the Great Beyond as much as the next gal. But if, say, I got no awareness after I die, does it even matter what happens?
Ach, of course you have no interest past that of your eyes and your stomach. Let us speak now of what can be done. Must be done. Watcher, you know best of all of us what our options are.
More answers could become apparent when we land on Ukaizo.
The Juana made compacts with the gods on lost Ukaizo. Anything can happen on the shores of our ancestors. I say it is a place where mortals can reach beyond themselves, do freely what animancers struggle to dream.
We have to act quickly. Defending Ukaizo is the highest priority. Our ships are fast and well-equipped. We could sail to the edge of Ondra's mortar. See if Eothas' passage opens a way through the storms. Of course, finding Ukaizo once we're through is another matter.
You want to find Ukaizo? With Eothas on his way, I'm an Ukaizo compass.
That's so. You just might be able to save us.
We speak of collectively sailing for Ondra's mortar, but this crown will not support any plan that involves a single outsider ship landing on the shores of Ukaizo.
Queenie, this is a little bigger than you and your tribe.
It is for this moment that the gods test me.
Really?
Anyone who seeks to cross Andra's mortar will learn that the gates of Ukaizo are the end of compromise with the Huana.
Good morning, Debstep. How you doing?
That is a sound.
Can everyone agree to an armistice while we work through this crisis?
I don't mean to let Eothas end us while we bicker. But the fate of Ukaizo
Thank you so much, Aaron.
exclusively a Huana concern.
I think I'm getting the gist of it now. While these witless princocks go at each other's throats, we Principi will cut through the storms and plunder the City of Gold.
What was that? Was that the part you were supposed to say out loud or in your head?
Whatever Eothas is seeking in those ruins, we'll find it. And then we'll sell it to the highest bidder.
Again.
That, or me and mine will have front row seats to the end of the world.
If the Huana cannot take back our beginning, then our end fast approaches. The gods will judge us by our devotion to Ukaizo.
Are you going to guard it as closely as you've guarded your palace today? Ukaizo was yours once, and you lost it. Meanwhile, the storms that cover Andra's mortar plague Rauatai too. We will help the Watchers stop Eothas, but we will not leave our country's future in soft hands. We hope the Watcher agrees.
Watcher, there are two kinds of people in the Deadfire. Those who have called it home since time immemorial, and opportunists. With Ukaizo under our control, the Huana would restore order as it has not been seen since the days of our ancestors.
Order. And the only question is whether it will be the order of ignorance and tradition, or else of conquest. The secrets to be found in Ukaizo could elevate us all beyond the telling. I will not relinquish that dream so easily.
Without so much as a final farewell, Aeldys tips her head to her armed crew, and the pirates withdraw as swiftly as they arrived.
Watcher, I say the time to play at freelancing is at an end. Any of us could get you to Ukaizo, but only one of us will stand by your side.
This cannot last, you know.
With everything going on at once, I wondered if... Gods, if we could talk.
Something on your mind?
Can we take a detour to the officer's lounge in the Brass Citadel? I could use a drink.
Let's be off.
I appreciate it, Captain. Hope you don't mind if I gather my thoughts on the way.
Uh-oh. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so I think we're kind of done with this for now. At this point, we just like talk to all the people and choose which one we want to go with. Yeah? I think it's time for the DLC. First, we're going to go to the bar with Maia, and then we're going to go to the DLC. Yep. But I want to see what my girl Maia is up to.
But they're still out there. Will no one help me?
Perhaps in a day or two. Prince Aruihi enjoys wild tales.
Who's this guy?
Well now, if there were any man here worthy of a grand reception. The guards here will not listen. Will you, sir? Myself? I am no lord save upon the deck of my ship. And she is lost.
It's true, I am a very important person.
I lost my crew. All but myself and the bosun, yet nobody will listen. Not the Queen, nor the trading companies. Too busy waging war upon each other to pay mind to a rudderless captain.
Okay, go on.
They don't understand. It's not just me. What lies out there, it'll swallow us all up if it isn't stopped.
Okay. You're losing me here.
It were unnatural.
This guy looks like Alec Baldwin playing a character on SNL.
The Antelope were a fine ship, and we sailed her out east, out of Kahanga waters and into the great wet country. Bright sky and a good wind. Until the fog came.
Okay.
We were boarded before we knew it. Men, things like men that howled like demons. They cut down half my crew, took the rest. Gods forgive me, but if I'd stayed to look on, I'd never have made it to the launch. But we saw it. After the fog cleared and the ship was gone. A spit of land.
Was this another DLC?
Bristling with the wreckage of other unfortunates. A finer crew I'll not find than that which served upon the Antelope. All
no, it's not.
Dragged into the fog.
Oh, I must have just forgotten this completely.
Like the gods plucked them off the deck.
It's terrible, I'm sorry.
I'll not forget it so long as I live. I am a landlocked wretch with no ship and no crew. But you are a captain of bold repute, and the day may come you sail out to that same isle, with beached ships all around. You have listened well. Here, go you now prepared. And should you ever come upon my crew, do what you can for them.
Okay. Where is that? Southeast of Nikitaka. Huh. Interesting.
Kids.
Cool. A lethal challenge to the inexperienced. Cohh won't listen, but chat will. True. True. Let's go to here. We're just going to go to the bar real quick. And then we're off to do the DLC. I think it's Officer's Lounge. So why does Eothas want to destroy the wheel in the first place? So Eothas wants to destroy the wheel because Eothas is the only god that feels like the humanity.
Ships out of Adir.
He feels that they should know the truth about the gods, which is that they're just humans that use technology to make themselves gods from the past. So he wants to force humanity to confront the truth, essentially, because he feels that the other gods are just like basically playing with them like toys. Essentially. Yeah, as somebody just said, Aeldys thinks that humans are kind of being duped by the situation. And he wants to break the cycle to force humanity to deal with the situation. Yep.
Even the republics.
What brought you to the Royal Deadfire Company?
I feel like I should set the record straight.
Go on.
I didn't get into this business so I could shoot first in a battle that hadn't even started, you know? I can make a case that my work was justified, but gods. Assassination is a big step in an uncertain direction. We're shooting at people with dangerous ideas, and assuming the ideas will die with them.
I take it you never ask these sorts of questions while fighting with the Navy.
It's a little different when the enemy's ship is turning about, their cannons glinting like a spider's eyes. You don't find time for a lot of deep, ethical discussions.
You sound ambivalent.
Yashiz is a good listener, but he's too dumb to offer much perspective. I could use some of yours right about now.
Oh man, I wonder if this is like one of those options where we can screw up everything. I'm concerned it sets the wrong precedent.
You're saying maybe this isn't a memory we want to take home?
Nodding to herself, Maia seems less thoughtful and more resolved. She cracks her neck and rolls her shoulders, letting out a relieved sigh.
You could be right. If we let this sort of thing spin out of control, it won't do us any good in the long run. If we go Atsura's way, we had better be sure that killing the right people makes a difference. Damn sure. And if we fall back on what we know, cannons, sieges, occupation, we'd better commit to fighting a moving target. We won't succeed if we don't understand the tribes. And something tells me that we aren't there yet.
Rawatai should embrace this test of its worth.
You sound like the propaganda from back home.
I've got some answers.
So here we are, what's on your mind?
Before I unload my cargo onto your port, how about you let me buy you a drink?
Nonsense. The loyal birds.
May our enemies get caught up in their talons.
She drains it in a single prolonged gulp and sighs, wiping off her mouth with the back of her hand.
I tell ya, something about all that open water.
What?
Andra's mortar, I mean. To the mortar, and everything beyond it.
She raises her empty mug in a half-hearted fashion.
Thank Bareth we have you as our living compass. I'd say Rawatai plans to set sail, compass or no.
Does this concern you?
Under different circumstances, I'd be aboard that aimless fleet. Likely as not to die. As things stand, I'm thankful to be under your command, Captain.
She raises her mug, peering at you over its lip. When she realizes it's empty, she snaps her fingers and a server appears with another.
In a campaign that keeps changing, being a part of your crew makes me feel like I have a hand on the wheel.
Half of the mug vanishes.
But now, all I see is open water on all sides.
Me and Cohh's junk. We can be your constants.
Funny thing is, I know you mean it. But I still worry.
Oh, I mean it.
While the powers of the Deadfire claw at each other's faces, you'll be digging through a god's body for your soul. I'll be following orders. With all that uncertainty, do we even have room for this?
Kiss her. You lean in and plant your lips on hers. At first it feels like kissing a wooden board, but she softens in the end before pulling back.
I felt that one down to my toes, Captain.
Oh my.
Ugh, I'm as full as a barrel. I should gather my thoughts in healthier ways, like knitting or taxidermy.
We're sailing. We have plenty of that in our future.
True. Captain, when we're standing at the helm, the ship feels unsinkable. I'm glad I get to cozy up to that feeling. Yeah, she's as glad too. Not that his opinion matters.
So you were just... I don't want this to end. Do you feel like taking a walk, having some time to ourselves?
Might not be a bad idea. Once my head is cleared, I'm sure I'll think of an even better one. They have a special room here for ranking officers. And their guests.
Oh my.
That's more of a closet, really.
We call it the bang room.
We can just talk. And if it goes any further, we'll know exactly why and how far to take it.
Sounds good. Hesitating a moment, Maia drags you into a hug and squeezes you like she's clinging to a mast in stormy weather. When she releases you, she has to catch her breath and tidy up her bun.
Captain?
Looking for another contract, and I've been ready to return to the rough country.
Well, if things go the way the Hazanuis...
Someone's been doing their morning stretches.
Maia dabs a bead of sweat from her brow and clears her throat.
Being a captain, a watcher, and the gods only know what else must be thirsty work. Well done.
Well done yourself, soldier.
Always nice hearing that from an officer. Time to ship off and see what the Deadfire throws at us next.
Quest completed. Okay. Fantastic. Let's go do the DLC. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. What did they do? Oh, they held hands. There was some prolonged hand-holding. Hand-holding can be very stressful and physically challenging work if you do it for a while.